Hey everybody, it's Muscle Car Camping, and today we have perhaps the most special car we've ever featured, a 1968 Cougar XR7 GTE 427 390 horsepower. It's an exceptional car that gets driven everywhere. This is not a trailer queen, folks. This car goes everywhere. So don't be surprised if you see maybe a bug or two in the grill. That's a badge of honor on this car. Hey, before we get into this video, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. That way you're notified every time a new video goes live. We've got some great muscle cars coming and you won't want to miss any of them. You know, the 427 in the Cougar, that was the first real muscle car engine the car had. Came out before the 428 Cobra Jet. The 390 was a good engine, but wasn't a great engine. But the 427 needs no introduction. Now, naturally, this is in a milder state of tune. You had a hydraulic camshaft. You had one carburetor, not two. But it still made 390 horse and 460 foot-pounds of torque. Interesting side note, and a lot of people don't know this, when Jack Roush was just an engineer at Ford, this was the last car he worked on before he struck out on his own. The Cougar with the 427, that was the last application of the 427 at Ford Motor Company. It did not go in a Mustang, although there was some talk of it going in there at one point, but it never got the 427 engine. Only the Cougar did. This car belongs to Dean Ward, and what we like about it is it still has all the original kind of stuff on it. The smog pump is still on it. The whole emission system is still on the car. It has the original air cleaner. This is exactly what they came with from the factory. It has date-coated heads. It's not the original engine. It does have the original transmission, but he's got date-coated heads that are correct, and he's also getting a carburetor for it that's the exact carburetor that should be on the car. This one's slightly different. But if you look under here, it's an amazing restoration. Like I said, right down to the emission system, which is something that probably someone removed a long time ago before he got this car. Here's some Cougar fun facts for you. A lot of people believe that the 427 was replaced by the 428 Cobra Jet in '68. And kind of was, but for a while you could get either one. You could get the 427 390 or you could get the 428 Cobra Jet. Now, if you wanted to stick with the GTE, you had to get a 428 Cobra Jet car. And if you wanted air conditioning, there was one 427 Cougar built with air conditioning, but it was a base model. It was not a GTE. Production-wise, there were 256 XR7 427 GTEs built. There were 101 regular Cougars, base Cougars, with the 427 engine. So no matter how you slice it, that is not a lot of cars. We just love everything about this one though. The power bulge hood, the blackout grille with the horizontal bar across. It's amazing at the time how Ford had everything going on in its styling department. The '67 Mustang was a styling tour de force, but actually I think the '67, '68 Cougar actually outdid it. Even with the formal roof, it looks so different than the Mustang. It looked magnificent. The full width taillights with the sequential turn signals. My God, it was a revelation back then, right? Love the hideaway headlights. Anything but hideaway headlights, Muscle Car Campy is a fan. You know, some cool stuff on the interior of this car. You know, the Cougar was kind of marketed as the American Jaguar. 3 inches more wheelbase than a Mustang. It was a much different car, even though it was a quote-unquote pony car. I love the XR7 wood grain on the dash. You got full gauges, amps, fuel temp, and way over here on the right, oil pressure. The 6,000 RPM tack with no red line, as per Ford in the 60s and 70s. For some reason, they never put a red line on a tack, though there is a 70-mile-an-hour red line on the speedometer. Go figure. This car also features a remote outside mirror, the door pockets on the side, all these great features. One unusual fact on this car is that it has a downgraded interior. There was a credit. Instead of leather, you got the base seat material in this car. Very unusual. But I love the map lights, the courtesy lights, the panel, everything in this car. Basic AM radio, big giant clock at the bottom that's working right now. Love the shifter. This car inside is so cool. You even have this great overhead console. Boy, nice little bit of rubber there in second gear, and you weren't even really getting on it. This thing
not even close.
This is beautiful. I love it. What gears are in this?
350s.
350. Yeah. Is it a traction lock?
No, unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
So the poor right tire has a bad day.
Oh, man, this is wonderful. And now this is what makes this unusual for an XR7 is it has the base interior in it.
Yeah, comfort weave seats.
Comfort weave seats. I notice on the console, it's a full-length floor console, but no storage compartment.
Yeah, actually, this that center console is not stock on this car. It was a console delete car.
Oh, okay.
But the person I bought it off of had the console. When I saw it installed, I was like, I'll leave it in there. I got all the parts to put it back to original if necessary, but kind of like the look, so just
sure, it fits. Definitely fits.
No, it definitely fits.
It rides nice too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
And you
it better be. I drove it to Mississippi and back.
So you drove this all the way from Florida to Mississippi.
Yep. Cruising the coast.
Oh man. So no fear about breaking down on the way. You said, I'm doing it. I'm going for it.
Well, I had the basic tools. Thankfully, nothing happened, but.
Well, people tend to forget that this is what they did with them when they were new. You drove them. Of course, now they're 50, 60-year-old cars, some of these old muscle cars at this point. But, you know, you've got power disc brakes, no air conditioning. Yeah. But I will say it does ride smooth.
On a day like today, no air conditioning needed.
No, definitely not. For those at home, it's 42 degrees here in Florida today, so we don't need any air conditioning. That's definitely an extra we don't need. But you know, the car is extremely comfortable, and you pretty much restored it using all Ford style parts, right? The shocks, springs, everything is Ford original, or Mercury original, I should say.
That's correct. The shop in Nashville did all that, but that's correct, using original Ford parts. That's correct.
What was the name of the shop that did the restoration work?
Capley's Paint and Body did it. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed they had all the correct markings under the hood.
Oh yeah. I mean, very detail oriented.
Yeah. And you know, this was the quote unquote upscale pony car. I mean, it's quiet in here. Yeah. I mean, even with the 427 under the hood, and it sounds like it's got a good rumble, but boy, there's no wind noise. This is a comfy car.
Yeah, pretty tight.
Man. And I can see with that extra 3 inches of wheelbase, there's still not a lot of room in the back seat for anybody.
No, never been back there, but
yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't look like it's a real comfy, fun place to be. Cardinal red with a white vinyl top. There's only one cardinal red with a white vinyl top on the GTE XR7 with the 427, according to your Marty report. I mean, we always joke that every Marty report can be broken down to a 1 of 1.
That's absolutely correct. Starting with low numbers from the beginning, though.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of this car, Dean?
This.
Just driving it?
Yes.
I don't blame you.
I do enjoy showing folks that don't know what it is, and then also, talking to folks that do know what it is. So, getting it out to local car shows. Certainly not a lot of these around here, but enjoy talking about it and letting folks learn, and me learning about, other cars. So.
Is this your first Cougar?
No, my first Cougar was in 1972 that I bought when I was 15 years old. So my very first car was a Cougar.
Wow. Was anything special about that? Was it an XR7 also?
It was an XR7. Had a 351 Cleveland with 2-barrel heads. I changed out the heads to 4-barrel heads. Bought my first 4-barrel and immediately got my first ticket.
Nice.
That's just the way it worked back then.
You know what? if you don't get a ticket when you're 17, 18, 19, you're not trying hard enough.
That's right.
All right, everybody, that's a wrap for today. Muscle Car can't be saying see you later. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. Watch all the videos that are up on the channel. We got some great cars, though I have to be honest, very few are cooler than this one.